This is the Jack Murphy Podcast. Here's your host, Jack Murphy.
I guess they used the discombobulator. I don't know. I don't know how else you could solve something so quickly without using the discombobulator. You know, it was first used in Venezuela, and now it appears that maybe they used it down near the El Paso airport. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Jack Murphy Podcast. I am your host, Jack Murphy. If you stick around toward the end of this podcast, you're in for a treat. Cousin Daniel has translated the Bad Bunny, one of the Bad Bunny songs that was done at the Super Bowl, into English and will narrate it for you here on the Jack Murphy Podcast. It is wonderful. He did a tremendous job. So if you haven't heard, this morning, out of the blue, FAA, Federal Aviation Administration, shuts down the airport in West Texas, not El Paso, but what the heck is the name of that town? The border town. I've been through there a million times. I'll think of it in a second. Anyway, they shut down the airport. They announced for 10 days. 10 days. And I thought, wow, it's something really serious. I mean, have the Iranians snuck over some nuclear material, or have the Iranians maybe snuck an anti-aircraft missile into the country? They got to locate it. Is this thing with the cartels worse than we thought? And maybe the cartels have acquired some of that technology. But no, it turns out that wasn't it at all. Somebody mistook a weather balloon for a cartel drone, and it apparently was in a place that it could have interfered with aircraft or whatever. They weren't sure about it. They didn't want to take any chances. And so they have lifted that ban on flights in and out of that airport. The discombobulator was not used, but had it been necessary, they would have discombobulated the hell out of those drones, I can assure you that. So anyway, that threat is over. Now, a quick update on the Savannah Guthrie's mom thing. Yesterday, we showed you, as the whole world did really, we showed you the video of the person at the front door who had on the terrible costume with the mask and the heavy gloves. One of the worst. It's almost funny now. They're showing all these police officers, FBI agents, and they're talking about the fact that this person is definitely an amateur because, number one, he has the worst gun holster combination in the wrong place. Nobody puts your gun right over your crotch. Just a bad area to place a weapon. You know, you put your sidearm on the side, or you tuck it in the back belt. But the best place is on the side. So they talked about that. And then they talked about the fact that he obviously had not done a very good job of casing the joint because he or she pops up on the porch and didn't know there was a Ring camera. And after he'd already been exposed on the Ring camera, he goes down the stairs, grabs some flowers or grass or something, and attempts to cover up his face with that. Laughable. But I'll tell you what, I was pretty amazed watching some of the experts from ex-FBI agents, and they were talking about all the information that they could get from those that video, even though his pictures with his face covered, that they have all this software. It measures the distance between the eyes, the eyebrow, all this stuff. And the fact that the person had a mustache, he could have put that on. He could quickly shave that off, but they're going to catch this person because they're not a professional. They're an amateur. And, you know, we still don't know I don't know why. If this was just like a break-in, like, you know, it could be that. So the person is an amateur, breaks into the house somehow, spends 45 minutes in the house, probably making her go through the house to show him where the valuables were. He had a backpack on. It looked like it was full already. I don't know what that's about. But anyway, after he'd gone all through the house and gotten all the valves, I don't know why he would take her with him or leave with her. That to me is the great mystery. But I think we're going to get some answers here in the next couple of days. We just have to be patient and hope for the best. That's all we can do.
Just a good old boy, never meaning no harm. Beats all you never saw, been in trouble with the law.
We have transgender news today, ladies and gentlemen. It's almost become a daily feature here on the podcast. The first transgender news today involves a transgender wrestler. There's a young lady named Kelly Keeler. She's a sophomore at Rogers High in Puyallup, Washington. She was wrestling against an opponent, and she said she was penetrated by the other wrestler. The other wrestlers penetrated her with their fingers. You know, that's sad to hear. You know, it would be bad enough if she was wrestling another young lady. She did not even know that the person that she was wrestling was a boy who was a trans person. No, it was a boy dressed up like a women's wrestler. And she said she was on the mat, face down. Her opponent was on top of her. He put his hand between her legs and penetrated her. She said, nothing like that has ever happened to me before. You know, I've heard about that in football games where even at the professional level, occasionally this happens. You have a picture where there's a big pile up and some guy will stick it to the other guy. You know what I mean? And, I mean, it happens all the time. Now, Daniel played football. It may have happened to him. Daniel is joining us on the podcast. Daniel, I was just talking about, there's a little girl up in Puyallup, Washington, Kelly Keeler. She's 16, and she's a wrestler. Now, you played a lot of high school sports. Did you wrestle?
No.
All right. Well, she was wrestling, and she was penetrated during the match.
Huh?
The other wrestler,
wrestling or wrestling?
No, she was wrestling, but I mean, it was a high school wrestling match. Her opponent got up, she was on her back, and the opponent stuck their finger into her. And as it turns out, it was a trans wrestler.
No. They don't allow that, do they?
In Washington? Yeah, they do. Now, Daniel, if that was your little girl, and your little girl was wrestling, she didn't even know. She said she didn't even know it was really a boy. Until later, she found out it was a trans wrestler. If that was my daughter, I don't know how I'd react.
I would be pretty upset. Of course, I wouldn't have had to worry. My daughter wouldn't have been doing it anyway.
Wrestling, yeah. But anyway, she told her coach, and the coach said, "What the heck?" And the coach told the authorities, and so far, you know what's happened?
Nothing.
Yeah. Oh, sorry you got penetrated by a little boy in front of a big crowd, and you got pinned on top of it because the person you were wrestling wasn't a female in your weight class. It was a boy. What kind of upside down world do we live in?
We live in one.
Now, there's been another mass shooting. By the way, we're doing trans news update, in case you're wondering. There's so many stories. There's so many stories, I have to create a whole segment for it here on the podcast. There was a terrible shooting in northern British Columbia that left 7 people dead. 2 were found at a nearby home, and a bunch of students were wounded. The shooter was also found dead. Turns out, let me just ask you, what do you think the shooter looked like? Boy, girl, what?
Pink hair, blue hair.
I don't know about the hair color, but it was a trans. It
Yeah.
was a trans student. It was a boy dressed up
Well,
in
he was trying very hard to look like a girl.
Yeah, he was dressed up like a woman. And, I mean, if we can't see what's happening, how many of these trans shootings have there been now?
Tons.
20?
Yes, it's been
20, 25?
every time you cut on the news.
If we can't see now that these drugs they're giving these kids and enabling this behavior with these kids, if you can't see that it leads to violence and terrible outcomes, you're an idiot as far as I'm concerned. And the Canadians, they're so liberal, they're so left wing, they can't even call it what it is. Listen to the law enforcement officer at the press conference talking about the shooting.
That includes the deceased gun person.
Okay, and then separate.
He's not even a gunman. Did you catch that? He's a gun person.
Yeah,
That includes the deceased gun person.
Okay, and then separately, do you know the gun person's relationship to?
And the reporter, he plays the game too. The reporter calls him a gun person. I'm telling you, the world has gone crazy.
I don't know. It's gotten so bad. I don't even know what to think anymore.
You know, if there's a bank robbery and you're in the bank and some guy robs a bank and runs out, you know, let's say it's a Hispanic guy, 5'7", with long hair, and he runs out. The police come and they say, "What do he look like?" "Well, he's a robber person." And I don't want to say he had dark skin like a Hispanic, but because that's racist. I mean, that's where we're headed.
Yeah.
I mean, they do it on the news now where they won't say or they'll call a black person a white person or a MAGA person. It's crazy.
Yeah.
A law enforcement officer has actually been, I'm sure they had a training for this, where all the police had to go to the training, you know, some sort of sensitivity crap, where they go, no, we don't, if they kill 21 people, they're not a gunman, even if they're a man.
Call it a man or a woman.
He's a
gun person.
Gun person.
Because
that's what
you may offend someone. You may, I mean,
that's some bullshit.
It is. It's gotten ridiculous.
This man just found out that a new episode of the Jack Murphy podcast just dropped, and he's on his way to listen. Doesn't matter that his walk is kind of awkward and that he's wearing shorts that expose his naughty bits, because he's about to experience the pure joy of the great Jack Murphy podcast. Plus, he has to poop.
There is a bit of Olympic news. This guy doesn't belong in the Olympics. He's too big of a wuss. Sturla Holm Lundgren from Norway won a bronze medal in the biathlon. That's the sport that combines cross-country, skiing, and shooting. You know, that would be a great sport if we could do it in the South, if we had more snow.
Yeah.
But since we don't have snow, they can't ski. But, you know,
Sand Mountain would get the gold every year.
Yeah. What they ought to do is have cross-country jeeping and shooting, cross-country four-wheeling,
mudding
and shooting, or cross-country walking and shooting, one of those. But anyway, he couldn't enjoy it because he was heartbroken.
Oh.
Instead of celebrating, he made a crazy confession, Daniel, in front of the entire world. He said, "I want to share this with anybody that's out there watching the Olympic coverage. 6 months ago, I met the love of my life." No, he said, 6 months ago, I met the love of my life, the most beautiful and kindest person in the world. And 3 months ago, I made the biggest mistake of my life and was unfaithful. And I told her about it a week ago, and she dumped my ass, and it's been the worst week of my life.
And I won the gold.
Why in the world would you say that at your Olympic press conference?
I thought you were going to say that he came out.
No, but I'm guessing, if I had to guess, he probably thinks that if he does that, she'll come back to him.
Oh, well, I could
You know,
I could
she'll
see
come,
his angle there.
oh, home is so touching to see you admit your unfaithful, whorish ways on the Olympic press conference, but I'm still not coming back to you, you bastard. She's not coming back. It's terrible.
Oh, hey, what's up, man? Yo, can you do me a solid? I don't know if you have subscribed to the Jack Murphy podcast yet, but go ahead. You know what I'm saying? Click on like and then subscribe. And then come back for fresh content daily. It's the Jack Murphy podcast, kid.
By the way, there's been a medical breakthrough, which I'd like to share with you here on the Jack Murphy podcast. We don't like to talk about bathroom humor on the podcast.
Never.
We're adults, but we do bring you medical stories. Like the other day, we had the story about how there are chemicals in your flatulence that may help stop
With
Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
Yeah. We talked about that and how it's bad to hold in your farts because it can cause gut issues.
Yeah.
But how about this? We have a brand new fart story today in our fart news segment of the podcast. Scientists have developed a smart underwear, Daniel. It has a wearable sensor in the underwear, and it monitors gut bacteria activity. People are always talking about that, how important, gut bacteria is. You see these commercials all the time where you can order these supplements for healthy gut bacteria.
Mhm.
And it measures the hydrogen gas, which is the flammable part of your farts. You ever lit one?
I saw it happen in college one time, and it blew my mind.
You know who was great at that? My brother-in-law, Jerry Holder. I remember when I was about 11 years old, we were in Florida.
Speaking of that, Holder, the guy that I saw do it, his name was Greg Holder.
Shut up.
I'm not kidding you.
They must
be a
have all
Holder
learned to
thing.
do it. Yeah. We were in Panama City at the Seafoam Motel, and my mama and daddy and Kathy and Andra was in one room, and I'm next door staying with Jerry and one of his friends. And, as soon as mom and daddy went to bed, they started drinking beer and stuff. And they were smoking cigarettes. They may have given me a cigarette or two.
Yeah.
And Jerry said, I'm going to light a fart. And they turned off all the lights, and he put his arms, between his legs and rolled back like this with his butt in the air. The lights, it's dark in there. And I heard a little, and he lights his Zippo, and it goes poof. It's a big I was stunned. And
I was too. When I saw it happen, I was like,
yeah.
I've always heard about it, but I've never seen it.
And I tried it. My problem was I was too chubby to really bend over to see very well. So I always almost set my pants on fire when I tried to do it, but I never could get it to work. But anyway, this insert measures the hydrogen in your flatulence, and you can do it on the go. A battery charge lasts for up to a week, and it detects dietary changes and can recommend things you should avoid eating or things that you should eat for your health. So I don't think I need a sensor in my pants. Do you?
Mm-mm.
Not for that anyway, but.
Because it ain't going to happen.
No. I'm going to eat what I'm going to eat anyway. All right. We have a couple of things left on the podcast today. Of course, still to come. Cousin Daniel has translated one of the Bad Bunny songs that was played at the Super Bowl. You're going to hear it in English exclusively here on the Jack Murphy podcast. By the way, I love that shirt you're wearing today. Master shirt.
That's the concessions shirt. Has the pimento cheese sandwiches.
Oh.
Egg salad sandwiches and the beers.
I love it. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's 70 degrees.
Monty.
It's 70 degrees here today.
God.
Very
it's about
nice.
50. It's probably about 55 here.
I got up and walked a full 5 this morning, and there was no ice or snow left on the trail. I was very, very happy about it. So there's an Amazon driver near Waco, Texas. He's facing some charges after he drove drunk and crashed his Amazon vehicle into a mailbox. And this happened in China Spring, is the name of the little town. The mailbox totally demolished. Here's what caught my eye. He was drinking something called a buzz ball. Have you ever heard of that?
Mm-hmm. I've
You ever
seen them
had-
at the store. They're like these little round.
Yeah.
They're like green or blue, red, or
This
whatever.
all happened last Friday
Now, I've
evening
never
in
had
the
'em.
China Spring neighborhood. Homeowner Justin Clark says his wife was coming home when she saw an Amazon driver hit their mailbox and completely demolished it. She chased the driver down the road.
Oh, look, you can. She chased him down and got him to stop. Look, I guess that's him there in the spotlight. That's him in the spotlight, getting his DUI.
Road and stopped him before he could leave the area. Clark says when Waco police arrived, the driver was throwing.
There's the
Yeah,
buzz ball
there
right
it
there.
is.
That's
Yeah.
what they look like. I bet
Yeah.
they come in different colors and flavors, probably.
Yeah.
The driver was throwing buzz balls, which are alcoholic beverages, down a storm drain.
He was trying to get rid of the evidence.
Hey, if you know you're going to jail, you might as well just down it.
Yeah, well, he was trying to get rid of the empties. It said, but he was throwing away buzz bomb bottles, so there must have been a bunch of them on the floor of the truck.
Officers conducted a sobriety test, which the driver failed. He was arrested and charged with a DWI that night.
Yeah,
There
he just
could have
totally
been a clown
demolished
come out
the
there.
mailbox. We just wanted to go and get a report from the police, and so we called the police, and the guy was over here pushing buzz balls down the drain and stuff, and come to find out he was under the influences. But
I mean, how are they? Well, I guess the name says it all. Buzz bomb. They're probably pretty
I don't
strong.
know what they are. Like, I don't know if it's like some kind of malt beverage or something. I don't know what it is.
Well, the green one, I'm looking at a picture of it here. It says Buzz Bomb Cocktail Tequila Rita.
Mm.
So it must have some tequila in it.
But they don't, because they sell them at convenience stores that are not liquor stores.
Oh, so it just tastes like.
Evident. Yeah.
I don't wonder how they get away with that, because if you think about it,
Well, they sell what is it? What's the cinnamon shot
those
stuff?
whipped cream things.
No, the cinnamon drink.
Okay, Daniel's having an Alzheimer's moment while he's doing
You
that.
could only buy it in the liquor store, but now they sell them in the convenience store.
Well, my point is, in the convenience store, they can sell beer and wine, but this is neither beer nor wine. They've simply taken some sort of fruit juice and put alcohol in it, so it's really a mixed drink.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not fermented. There's no fermentation in that. That's a mixed drink. I mean, to me, they've crossed the line. Either let's sell the liquor at the convenience store or not. And by the way, life was a lot more convenient when they did that. You know, here in South Carolina, I don't know about Virginia, but we have the ABC stores.
Yeah, that's what we have.
And in North Carolina, the state runs them. They're highly inefficient. Their hours are crazy.
Yeah.
I'll tell you something else. Have you seen this? I go to the Circle K across the border in South Carolina a lot, just because I'm going over to Ashley's or whatever. They're selling, and I'll tell you who's behind this. I can't think of the name of it, but Cardi B is the money and the name behind this, and she promotes it. It's alcoholic whipped cream. You know, like in a can, like, what do you call that stuff? Ready Whip or whatever? Dairy Whip. It's that, and there's several different flavors, but it's got booze in it. And again, they sell that at the convenience store where they only sell beer and wine. That's not fermented.
Fireball. Fireball. That's what I was trying to think of.
Oh, Well, no, but I don't understand how they can do it. It's clearly a mixed drink, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, for a long time, you couldn't. Trying to figure out why people are in my yard.
Something going on.
Oh,
Maybe they're coming
somebody's
over to
out there
watch.
shoveling in my yard. Right
Maybe
now.
they're coming over to watch you do the Bad Bunny thing.
I'm like, what are y'all doing?
Yeah, to me, it's like when I lived in California, Costco sold booze, like liquor and wine and beer. You know, they did. It's just why if you're old enough to drink, why aren't you old enough to buy it wherever you want? How come you got to make 3 trips? You know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, in Las Vegas, Walgreens, whole wall full of bourbon and, vodka and everything. So,
and then South Carolina, good grief. South Carolina.
That's the ones that can't do it after 12 or until 12 on Sunday or whatever.
Well, no, but forever when they did get alcohol in South Carolina, this was years ago, but this only ended not that many years ago. It used to be if you went into a bar in South Carolina and you said, give me a scotch and water, he would reach under the thing and pull out a mini bottle of scotch and pour your drink. They couldn't even have full bottles of liquor at the bar. It was all mini bottles.
Yeah.
Now, I never did understand the logic or the reasoning behind that.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
And they said,
but they finally, but then
they changed.
Said they changed that deal.
But not that long ago, I'd say within the last 15 years or so, they changed it. But it had something to do with, well, that way they can't overserve. Well, yeah, sure they can. They just open another mini bottle.
It was Sunday. You couldn't drink till after 12, till church.
When they first did it, I don't even think you could serve booze on Sunday. But it just the argument was ridiculous. What do you mean they overserve? They'll just sell them another mini bottle.
Mm-hmm.
It's for inventory control. They'll figure it out. Dumbest crap I've ever seen in my life.
Burrito, taco, taco, burrito, taco, taco, taco. Don't think just because I got a lot of money, I'll give you taco flavored kisses, honey. Fulfill all your wishes with my taco flavored kisses. Taco, taco, burrito, burrito, taco, taco.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've been talking for the past few days about the Bad Bunny show, and I told you I've become a little bit of a bunny earworm. I've got a bunny earworm. I heard one of the songs. I have no idea what he was saying, but I was bouncing along with it. So I'm as interested as you are. I haven't heard this or seen it yet either, but Cousin Daniel got one of your yard workers that does your lawn for you, helps you with this.
Yeah.
He had him listen to the Bad Bunny song that he recorded on TV. Cousin Daniel wrote down the English lyrics, and he's going to read them here on the show. Now, I've got a buzzer, a button that I can push if there's any bad language in it. And so I'll be ready in case there's any, because I've heard some of his music has bad words in it.
Yeah.
So here is one of the songs that Bad Bunny performed at this past Sunday's Super Bowl, narrated by Cousin Daniel.
With so much love for y'all, Mira, tell me, hey, Puerto Rico's fucking great. Hey, it's fucking great. From Carolina came reggaeton and the sons of bitches from Bayonne, hey, they want to ride the wave and they haven't gone to Rincon.
Okay.
A little kiss for Grandma on the balcony, catching all the holes on the Rubicon. P***R, hey, land of Mielo, and take a Calderon.
Are you sure this is the English words? Huh? This is the English part? Okay, I don't understand it so far. Maybe it gets clearer.
And the Berea, who was champion, before than LeBron.
LeBron.
Damn, another blackout. Let's go to the bleachers to light up a blunt before Peepo gets a slap in the face. Puerto Rico's fucking great. Hey, Puerto Rico's fucking great. Hey, fucking great. Puerto Rico's fucking great. Ha ha, hey, hey, hey.
So far, this song makes no sense to me at all. Did it to you?
It was so hard to even read.
All right, let's keep going here.
Ditch Maldives. I'm staying in Palomino. Hey, if not then, I'm going to DR. Greetings to my neighbors. My people, what's up? Hey, here's the heat. It's different. The sun is Thanos. Hey, the capital of Pierio. Now everyone wants to be Latino. No, hey, no. But they lack rhythm, drums, and reggae. Hey, 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 careful with my friends. We're a bunch of hey. They lack rhythm, drums, and reggae. Hey. Careful with my friends. We're a bunch. Careful. Welcome to the heat. I like the pussy of Puerto Rico. 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 I like the pussy of Puerto Rico.
And that's who they hired to do the Super
There you
Bowl
go,
halftime
folks.
show.
Now you know.
Are all the songs that way? Because that didn't make a damn bit of sense to me at all.
It was just ridiculous. I don't understand why. Even if you were Spanish, would that make any sense?
No, it didn't make any sense whatsoever. And, even if you listen to him do it in Spanish, you can tell there aren't a lot of lyrics. It was like,
Yeah.
it's like
that ending. He kept saying that one thing over and over and over, and you know what he was saying.
Yeah. I mean, there's no, in other words, there's no story to the song. You know what I mean?
Oh, they're calling out Roger Goodell now, buddy.
Who is?
Oh, everybody's calling him out that he needs to be fired after that.
Well, now, if you missed it, here's a little bitty bit of John Hamm enjoying some Bad Bunny. Now that one I kind of like, but I don't think it makes any sense either. I really, it does. Well, Cousin Daniel, you did a wonderful job
It was a
with the
lot of
translation.
research. Yeah. I have worked really hard on that.
And thank your person who manicures your lawn,
Yeah.
Jose, or whatever his name is.
I
For
think
helping
he's
us
out here wanting some payment or something.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, hope you enjoyed that. We are out of time. And if you haven't subscribed, I think right now you're sitting there thinking, what am I waiting on? Do I get stuff like this every day? And the answer is yes. You get great stuff like this every day on the Jack Murphy Podcast, and it's free. So go ahead, subscribe, like the video, and tell some of your friends. I don't care who they are. Just tell them and ask them to subscribe. And have a great day. Daniel, thanks for being with us. And don't get any grease on that shirt.
Thanks for watching the Jack Murphy Podcast. Remember to like, subscribe, and ring that bell. Go ahead, ring it. Get alerts when a new episode drops. And tell your friends about the Jack Murphy Podcast. But only the cool friends, please. Tune in next time for another episode of the Jack Murphy Podcast.